okay, let's talk Tokyo Ghoul Re episode 9 for a sec. Now, I read the manga, so I already knew everything that was going to go down in this episode. Well, I didn't know which parts they were going to cover. They covered quite a lot of the parts that I thought they were going to cover, which was so good. Alright, so a lot of people are calling this episode boring, and I would have to disagree. Because I think it's very crucial that they have episodes where they are kind of breezing their way through the plot, and especially since the manga was sort of doing that before certain events occurred, certain arcs that get hectic, because you can tell it's building up to a hectic point. But especially the next arc, the arc that they're doing, the Rose arc, yeah, that arc, yeah, that's not gonna have any nice episodes. Or like easy flowing episodes where they're like going through things, explaining relationships and connections between characters. It's not going to sort of happen. So I appreciate the time they're taking into building those relationships. And none of what I said is spoilers, because you should all be thinking already that stuff's going to go down because of the stuff that happened in this episode and previous episodes. Stuff's going to go down later. Anyway, so this episode, it was more Tsukiyama based, and his relationship with Heisei, and so to speak, in his relationship with Kaneki. So he goes thinking that Heisei will remember him. He doesn't. He falls flat in his face, and Heisei's just like, "Are you okay?" And he's just like, "Oh crap, he doesn't recognize me." But then he's just like, "No, I'm gonna keep trying until he recognizes me. I'll get his memory back." So he keeps going up to him, bumping into him in certain situations, and he just doesn't realize it's him, and stuff like that. So I appreciate how they handled that, because Tsukiyama's and Kaneki's relationship is a very different and special one. I like how out there Tsukiyama is, and how reserved Kaneki is usually in that sort of relationship. It's always interesting to watch that relationship sort of play out. So I appreciate how they're making Tsukiyama out to be as eccentric as he usually is. It's very appreciated, and you have to appreciate how they're handling Tsukiyama's and Kanae's relationship as well. How that character, Kanae, would do anything for Tsukiyama, and anything he says, Kanae will take it in a different representation than what Tsukiyama sort of meant to be taken in. So Kanae goes, "Alright, let's kill all the ghoul investigators that are getting in Tsukiyama's way of hanging out with Kaneki." So then he hires a bunch of people, and then they, kind of hires a bunch of people, and then they kind of, like, attack them, as they do. I'll get to that sort of part of the episode in a little bit, because I want to talk about Uta, and I want to talk about, Kaori. So, basically, the funny part of the episode for me was when they go to Uta's shop, and then they go get the masks, and then they were like, he's definitely a ghoul. But what the hell, shouldn't we be questioning this guy and checking out if he's alright? And then Mitsuki goes, "I recognize the voice, because she's met Uta before." I appreciated how they handled that, and Uta was just being Uta because he doesn't care. I appreciate how they handled that sort of dynamic with this character, and how Uta's just like, "Yeah, you're a customer." I was kind of, disappointed because in the manga, Uta goes back to the cafe. Like, it's a little 4-panel thing, so it's not a spoiler or anything, but he goes back to the cafe going, "I made friends with Heisei today." And they go, "What?" It's good. It's hilarious. But, well, they didn't go, "What?" It was just like thinking about going, just pouring coffee all over the table. He's just like, "What?" It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, back on topic. I like how they handled Kaori's character development, because he particularly doesn't really like Heisei, because he considers him a ghoul. He doesn't consider him an actual person. But he still appreciates Heisei sort of trying to mend the relationship, sort of. So it's interesting seeing Kaori's sort of development and how they're handling his character. I'm like, yeah, you're handling him really well, because that's exactly, almost panel by panel, what happened in the manga. So I'm just like, I appreciate what you're doing right now. And then back to the end bit, with all the ghouls attacking the QS squad. So, basically, what I want to talk about is the last two sort of scenes with certain characters development. So, you've got Mitsuki and you've got Torso. Now, you have to understand and remember that Torso has a relationship with Mitsuki, because that will be very, very important for developments of both characters. because Torso, already proven, has a massive obsession with Toru, Mitsuki. And you have to remember that because that's very important for every just development scenes. It's very, very important that you remember that these two have that sort of relationship. And I love how the anime is shoving it in your face to go, remember these two. And it's just, it's brilliant. And then at the very, very, very end, I loved how nonchalant the character's appearance was. I'm not going to say the character's name. Manga readers will know who I'm talking about. And I love how nonchalant it was. Like, just appears and then left. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly how I wanted it handled. I didn't want a big, massive, showy appearance, because that would have drawn too much attention to the character. I didn't want a big, massive thing. I wanted him to show up and then leave exactly how he did. And I'm like, yes! And that's kind of what happened in the manga, but I preferred the way the anime handled it. And they just walked off, and you're just like going, oh, that character's important, but you're not gonna see him, are you? for a bit. It was beautiful. And you've got to remember that, how Psycho sort of reacted to that. Because I love Psycho. She's adorable. She's absolutely adorable. Protect that precious child. That precious child is adorable. Yeah, but that's sort of basically everything that I took from the episode and was thoroughly impressed by. So I appreciate how they handled it, and I appreciate how nonchalant the whole episode was. It was basically just gradually building relationships throughout the episode and not rushing into action. Because there was action with the Ghoul fights and stuff like that, especially with Kanae's reaction as well. But I appreciate the relationship building throughout the episode more than I do with the fighting, because you're not going to get that much development in a bit. Like, you're going to get development with characters, obviously, but you're not going to get slow development with characters, sort of, in a bit. So, I appreciated how they reacted to that, and I'm very looking forward to, because of the way this episode ended, I know what arc is coming next, and I know what arc is coming after that. So I'm going to thoroughly anticipate the next couple arcs and how people react to the next couple arcs that haven't read the manga, because it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very, very fun and very, very exciting, and I'm very keen to see how they'll animate those specific scenes. So, especially since in the preview, because in the preview, I know exactly which scenes are coming up with the whole bridge and everything, and I'm like, oh, that scene! Because it showed Tsukiyama and Aisei talking, and I'm like, oh, it's that scene, which means that's coming up, and I'm not prepared for how I know episode 12 is going to be. It's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful. And I love... can we just all appreciate the opening? I'm just going to ramble now how much I love the way this anime is being handled. This anime is being handled so beautifully and so thoroughly, and so, like... they should have the mangakas just help every single anime adaptation that's been released, because it's being beautifully handled, and I appreciate, especially the music cueing in certain bits. You're just like, yes, that fits, and that works, and the opening is beautiful, and the ending's gorgeous. Yeah, so that's all I have to say on episode 9. I was thoroughly, thoroughly impressed. Well done. Well done. I was very happy, especially with the last episode was genius as well. The last episode was great because Best Girl was in it, but anyway, enough about that. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and if you do have stuff to discuss in the comments below about this specific episode, make sure you don't spoil the people with the manga below. I will do a chapter review on the next chapter of Tokyo Ghoul Re. You can discuss all you want there, okay? So no manga spoilers for the people below, because that's not fair. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.